everyone and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video we are going to do a little drive with me, which I've said I've wanted to do for so long but just never done. And I am driving over to my boyfriend's house. A lot has happened, so I thought I could give you a little life update. We can drive together and it's just going to be cute. I'm not the best of drivers, so I'm really hoping that this driving filming scenario is okay. Obviously I'm not touching like my phone or anything, so. And I've got a little mic because there's loads of outside noise when I'm driving, obviously. So I thought a mic would be a good idea. Anyway, yeah, let's go. Seatbelts first, kids. I've got no petrol. My brother always drives my car. 32 miles is enough to get me there and back until my brother needs to use it again. I feel like I've not driven in so long. Okay. I always get really scared now because, oh, my fucking boot's open. I don't care. No, I do care. Okay, let me shut my boot. I just slammed that bitch. Let's try that again. I'm gonna have so many weird looks on this drive because my phone, I'm using my back camera. So people are gonna be like, what is this girl doing? But yeah, I thought I would give you a little update. I've kind of learned a few things recently and I just thought it's a good idea for me to share it with you. And also, just on a side note, if I'm not looking directly at the camera, it's obviously because I am driving. Recently, I have not been my best self. That has been for a number of reasons. I just think my mental health isn't the strongest at the best of times, and then I have been really unhappy in what I've been doing and not thriving. I don't know, when you just know something isn't right. I've been having that feeling and I tried to ignore it. And I guess I've tried to ignore it for 6 months now, but it just got to the point where I couldn't ignore it anymore. And I don't know if I'm meant to say this, but I feel excited saying it because I know that it's a massive weight lifted off my shoulder. I have quit my job, and I don't know if that's a shock to some people because I feel obviously social media isn't real, but I feel I portrayed it to be this really cool, fun London job. And don't get me wrong, for the right person, it will be. If I was in a different company, then I would have absolutely adored the London life, but it was a mixture of me being in the wrong company. Role, perfect, I can do it all with my eyes shut, but it's just the type of person the company wanted and needed, I'm not that. They needed probably someone more senior, even though it was an entry-level role. They needed someone more millennial, and I am very hardcore Gen Z. So yeah, that has been something that I've been adjusting to and dealing with, because I'm how much of it was me, how much of it was the company, how much of it was me being new to the role, how much of it was I didn't like the commute, how much of it was figuring it out, how much of it was oh, I'm not actually, maybe I'm not good at that, maybe and obviously no one wants to feel like they're shit at something. I thought they were gonna fucking go then. Obviously no one wants to feel like they're not good at something, and it was just really, really knocking my confidence. Should not have gone round the roundabout and forth, but I feel I've learned a lot from it, so there is literally no part of me that regrets leaving the company. I mean, I still have my notice period. I literally handed my notice in on Thursday, and I was so emotional about it because I was it's made me feel so down in the dumps, and it had a massive knock-on effect. The things I've learned by being in a situation that doesn't serve you / just isn't working, and you know it in your gut, you don't need to justify it to anyone, but if you know something isn't right, you can only ignore it for so long before everything else gets affected and it physically is taking over your life. If something's not meant for you, the universe isn't gonna they're realize it sooner rather than later. Do you know what I mean? We're never getting younger. If something's not right, change it. That's kind of what I've learned, because I was kind of neglecting my relationships with people. I was neglecting myself. I was neglecting my self-care. I was neglecting my hobbies. My social media is my bestie. Although I'm not a super big creator yet, but I love creating content. I love editing it. I love the community that I'm building. I like everything about it. I just love. And it was feeling like a drain for me because I was like, well, I've got a full-time job and I'm doing this for someone else, but I want to be doing it for myself. Obviously, I'm not at the point yet. Like, my career within content creation isn't sustainable enough money-wise to have it as my full-time job, but it means that I now have a lot more time and effort and brain power to put towards it. But anyway, yeah, like, as someone who's a big advocate for self-care and a big advocate for looking after yourself and being honest and being truthful and I was like, God, I'm really going against like all my morals here. Even my friends will say like I'm big on morals, and I was like, I'm just being such a hypocrite, and I'm not. Are they gonna fucking go? Sorry, I get road rage. I was just being untrue to myself, and it's like lessons that I'm gonna take with me. I gave it my best shot, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I tried until like I literally got to breaking point, and it's like, why am I putting myself through that? And like, I am leaving on the nicest terms with everyone, and they're all like, no, Darcy, like, we wish you the best. Like, we're all on the same page. Like, we all agree, like, it just wasn't the right fit, but it doesn't reflect me as an employee or like my work ethic or like the standard of my work. It just reflects like it just didn't fit and work, which is fine. It's been so interesting for me to see the physical effects of the universe or like your body telling you that something isn't right for you. I reckon that this is traffic lights. I'm so confused. Oh well, we have longer to talk and chit chat. Your gut always knows what is best. Your gut knows what is right. Your gut knows more about you and your life. I feel like your gut's connected to the universe somehow, some way. Like, it knows what it's doing. And I guess everything prepares you for a certain moment and everything happens for a reason. I've learned my lessons from there. Like, and I feel like everything is preparing me for like my next chapter, which is exciting. How to be a better social media manager, whether I'm doing that for another brand or I do freelance. Yeah, everything happens for a reason, and you just have to, although something may seem shit and seem really overwhelming and annoying that it's not been a certain way, like, you've got to trust the process. You know, when you're in traffic, I really wish I had an automatic car because my left foot is going a bit numb. As someone that is an overthinker and an anxious girl, it's so easy to just give in to our overthinking and like anxious ways and basically always thinking the worst is going to happen and worrying about certain situations and making up scenarios in your head that are literally never going to happen. And I think I've only now just realised how fucking damaging that is. We are ruining ourselves because of our brain's thought pattern, and our thought patterns are something we can change. Obviously, with discipline and trial and error and getting to know yourself and so many different things, like, you can't just go, oh, don't think that, don't feel that. Like, obviously life doesn't work like that. By becoming aware of how toxic my thought patterns are, because they still are, I'm not obviously over it yet, because this is literally something I had like a, is it a eureka moment, like a found out, I figured it out the other day. I was like, fuck me, I am making my life so much more miserable than it actually is. Like, my life is a good life. I live a lucky, lovely, love-filled life. Why in my head is it thinking that I've got a really bad life and it's really miserable and everything's going wrong? Because it really isn't. Like, I'm just, like, my brain's just telling me that. So I'm like, let's reprogram this. Let's switch it up. I don't know about you, but it's boring and it's sad to be in such a negative mindset all the time. I was journaling on holiday. I think this holiday did wonders for me. I realised all of the things that I was like, oh, I'm so unlucky because this is happening and this is happening and everything feels like too much. All these things, my petrol's just dropped to 16 miles. 15 miles, fuck. I don't know where a petrol station is. Uh-oh. And I'm in traffic. Everything is happening to you. No. Everything is happening for you, not to you. And that blew my mind. Like, well, why didn't this job work out? Because I'm being put on a path that's better suited to me and that I can be successful in. Oh, it's because it's teaching me something. And it takes you out of like your internal victim complex, like your victim complex within yourself, not necessarily with like in your relationships and stuff, because I'm very happy to like accept responsibility for what I do. It suddenly shifts your perspective, and it just makes you feel a bit more like, suddenly like, oh, what can I learn from this, rather than like moaning and complaining. Because realistically, like, it's so like life compared to what is going on in the world right now, my life is someone's dream life, and the stupid things that I complain about I shouldn't be complaining. Do you know what I mean? Like, my life is amazing. So it's so toxic for me to be in a mindset where I think otherwise. This is your sign that, like, oh, that's a cute little car. This is your sign that, like, if you know you're one of these people that has a bit of a toxic mindset and it's always like, oh, this is so bad, everything's shit, then this is your sign that we need to change that, because life could always be worse. And I'm not saying that bad things aren't happening and you can't be upset by them, because obviously you're still gonna cry. Obviously things are gonna happen, and you need to like react to it first before you like think about it and then like, how do I want to respond to this? Like, your instincts. If you react a certain way, you're entitled to that reaction. If you know it's wrong, which I've realized, then let's change it. So maybe I'll do a video like how to shift your mindset from why is this happening to me to for me. That's a really good video, Darcy. I love when I'm gonna forget until I'm editing this. So Darcy, that is editing this, write this down and do that, because that's a good video. We're in a generation where literally anything is possible and anything can become a reality, and we know like how law of attraction works, like what you think you become. So regardless, that's why it's so important to go into everything's happening for me mentality, because if you're like, oh, everything's shit, then like, ooh, then everything will be shit. And if you think bad vibes, all these bad vibes are going to come to you. I'm just waiting for people to like stare at me like, what the fuck is she doing filming herself? Oh, that's so annoying. I forgot my point now. I hope you guys don't mind. I feel like my content, I'd be pretending to be someone I wasn't if I didn't just ramble, because that is me to a T. I'm going to try and persuade Henry to go for Waggers for lunch, because I am in need of a chicken yakisoba. I've said quite a few times, like, I've allowed myself recently to be really creative, and being creative has opened so many doors and paths for me that is like, it's mental. Something I've learned as well, these are just me like brain dumping my learnings onto you, because as well I feel like it reminds me of things I've learned. But failure, because I can't remember what the specific quote is, but like, failure and rejection is lessons and redirection. The more you can learn in life, the better, obviously, because then you don't make mistakes again. But it's important that like, we make mistakes, and it's fine if things don't go your way, because it's like, I can learn from this. I've learned my lesson, and grow, you progress. Some people are very comfortable staying in the same position, but I'm not one of them people. I always am kind of like, not in a too much way, but I'm always looking for like, how can I progress, how can I succeed a bit more, how can I excel in something, or like, obviously everyone wants to do well, how can I help myself get as far as I can in life. I'm not going to learn these things, and you're not going to figure this stuff out unless you try stuff. It's just physically not possible. Otherwise you're just assuming that, oh, I'm not going to be good at this, or oh, I can't do this. You're not going to learn the things you need to learn in life by staying in the same place. And as I say, some people are more than happy doing one thing, and even if they're unhappy, like staying there, like they just want a simple life. Whatever you feel works for you, do it. I'm not one to fucking judge, but my brain, like, I don't want to just settle. Yeah, it's, you need to do different things, you need to try different things out to figure out what you like, what you don't like, what works for you, what doesn't. And if you know that your brain works like that, then you're doing yourself a disservice to not honour it. I'm going to round off my rambling here, and I just feel so much better for talking to you guys and offloading, and I'm really sorry if this was a bit of like a one-sided selfish conversation. I feel like I have talked about me a lot, obviously, but I feel like I've been trying to put little nuggets of information in there. So I got here in one piece. I'm not the best of drivers on the best of days, so the fact that I drove and talked and was like focused on like how the frame might look, I'm proud of myself, but I'm gonna go now because I really don't want to see like my boyfriend's family walking the dog down his road and me be like, hi, sorry, yeah, just filming. If you did enjoy, please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on my other socials, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.